Hey there, I'm Chris, Head of Sales and Support at LineNow, and I'm going to walk you through getting set up so that you are ready to go. There's a little bit of a time investment to get set up, but trust me, it's not that bad. And once you're ready to go, it's going to save you hours and hours every single week. You're welcome to follow along with our support article, as I'm just going to be going through it step by step with some real examples. So LineNow actually allows you to manage different types of businesses, and it all has to do with how you manage inventory and how you manage reordering. For example, we have retail businesses, dropship businesses, restaurant style businesses, and manufacturer type style businesses. You may be more than one of these things. That's totally fine. You can add as many as you like. It's all under one account, but you're going to have different portals for each. So here's my example account here. You can see I already have several business units of different types. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is add a business unit. You can name it here. I'm just going to say test business unit. I'll make mine a retail store. So a retail store in general could be an online store or physical store. It means you are more or less buying what you sell. So you're not manufacturing it, you're not assembling it from various components or ingredients. You're buying a can of soup, you're selling a can of soup, you're buying a robot, you're selling a robot, whatever it happens to be. Restaurants and manufacturers do have an extra step to set up how their recipes or assemblies come together, which we'll also go through. Okay, so you can see here we have our test business unit. You can also turn them on and off if you want to. And you'll notice for dropshipping business units, you can even turn on auto create orders. This will send your purchase orders without you having to do anything as orders come in. Now, as a part of the setup, we have some integrations that are going to help pull data in, but also keep data up to date over time. Some of them are optional, some of them are pretty important. So if you're going to do one integration, it really should be your point of sale. So that could be Shopify, could be Square, could be Toast. It's where your sales are happening. Obviously, your items live there, your products live there, sometimes your vendors are in there, and of course, your sales are getting tracked in that system. And if we want to keep inventory up to date and add inventory as it comes in, we want to be connected to that point of sale. So Shopify, Square, and Toast are all slightly different. In the help article, we clearly go through how to do that. For Shopify, for example, you're actually going to go to the App Store and click Install. It's going to take you to a little page like this where you can either sign in, or if you don't have an account with us, you can register, and then that's going to connect your LineNow account to your Shopify point of sale. That little check mark tells you it was successful. For Square, you're simply going to click on the button and then sign into your Square account. And for Toast, it's a little bit more involved. Just follow the steps in the guide. You can also choose to sign into QuickBooks. This could be for pulling in information during setup or for pushing purchase orders as bills to your QuickBooks. Also, this is where you set up and manage your team. So if you have multiple people, you want to be able to access this, you can do that here as well. And lastly, we have external supplier communication. If you do all your communication through the LineNow portal, this step is optional. However, if you plan to use your email inbox to send and receive order information, we highly recommend integrating your email so that we can keep order information up to date based on that communication. So as spreadsheets, PDFs, bodies of email come in and out, we actually update item, SKUs, ETA, tracking information all automatically for you without the manual data entry. So depending on how you want to manage your order communication, you have that email and WhatsApp integration for you. So the first thing we're going to do is add suppliers. So we head over to the supplier tab. You notice that there's an unassigned one by default, which I'll explain later. But we're going to start by adding in the ones that exist in our store. Now, in my little test Shopify store here, I have two products. In Shopify, they call them vendors. So if you guys have vendors set up in your store for your products, we're going to be able to map them automatically. If they're not set up, then you just need to map them manually. So I'm going to click Import from POS. And as you can see, those two vendors that I have in Shopify for each of those products, I'm going to bring in into our system. It's going to ask you how you plan to communicate with them. So this is through sending POs with LineNow and using our communications tab. If you're going to be doing phone calls or something else, then you can select that here as well. So we're going to select both of these because we want to bring them in. And we do need to have emails for each of them. So 123@gmail.com, and let's see, 345. All right, import. There we go. So you can see our two suppliers have been brought in. Now, if you have other suppliers that you want to bring in, you can bring them in manually. We're just going to ask for their name and their email, and you can connect them that way. which is pretty simple. You can also bring them in from QuickBooks in the exact same way we just did if you have that connected as well. Okay, let's move on to items. So items are things that you buy from your suppliers or vendors. They may also be what you sell, but in the case of a restaurant, your items are your ingredients. In the case of a manufacturer, your items are your components. But since we're a retail store, we buy the t-shirt, we sell the t-shirt, we're just going to keep them the same. Though there may be multiple variants because you may have multiple suppliers or you may have different pack sizes for that item. Maybe you buy some in packs of 6 and some in packs of 2, for example. So again, we're going to import from our point of sale. You can also use a spreadsheet. We'll give you a template and you can format it and upload that if they don't exist in your point of sale. But we're going to put them in here. We're going to make sure that our shop location is selected. And we've got the two, you see the 2 test products are mapped to the correct vendors, the same as they are in Shopify, so I don't have to do anything. So if your point of sale happens to be Square, mapping your items to your vendors is one extra step. They actually don't tell us the association between the vendors you have in Square and the items, so we've come up with the clever workaround. Simply click Add Items, Import from POS, choose your POS location like you would anyway, and then export all of your items in the CSV file from Square, and then import them into this dialog here. That will automatically map them to the right vendors if you have a lot of SKUs. If you only have a few SKUs, then you can just do it manually. So remember, this spreadsheet is not to import your items, this is to map them to the right vendors. Now, let's say you have a ton of SKUs and you only want to bring some of them into this location. Maybe some of them are dropship and some of them are retail, as in you keep stock. In that case, you can unselect the ones you want manually. Or we give you another spreadsheet option where you can upload and it'll kind of smart select only the ones that you want to bring into this business unit. Lastly, you have a default supplier for everything or for the things that are not mapped. So if these were not mapped, it will go to unassigned. But if you have another supplier in mind that you want everything to fall into, you can do that too. Since we had everything set up, we're just going to click import. Cool. So now we have our 2 items. So I may know that I sell this can of soup and it's in my Shopify store, but sometimes I buy it in packs of 6. So I may want to add a variant to that so that I can reorder the correct thing. So I'm going to say, okay, pack of 6 in this case, and the price of that is now $6, for example. There's minimum order quantity. Let's say with this larger one is 4. And then I'm going to create a pack variant. There, as you can see, I have one that is a pack of 6 and it costs $6. It's also important to note, because we imported it directly from our point of sale, it's automatically linked. So when we sell, it'll automatically retract that inventory. And when we receive, we will push inventory back to your point of sale as well. So unless you're a restaurant or a manufacturer, we're done. If you're not, there's one more step. You'll need to add your recipes or assemblies just so that you can link what you sell to what you buy and the ratio so that the inventory is up to date. And there'll be a separate video included for that as well. But because we're just doing a retail store, we're basically ready to go. So let's talk about making orders. You can either start from the inventory planning tab and get an idea of what you should be ordering, or if you already know, you can head straight to the purchase order tab and just start making a purchase order. But let's go through the inventory planning tab. The inventory planning tab is designed to give you all the information you need to decide what you should order next. So you have how much inventory you have what's coming in, you have all of your sales and your margin, and then other elements that you can set up to help make things more accurate, like your order frequency and your lead time. And your replenishment level is how much you like to have once you order. So if I know that I like to have 20 cans of soup every time I order because I like to order every week, for example. You can also set that critical threshold yourself. So I've got this set as 4 units. I know I want to have 4 units. And you can see we have less than that. So you get a critical threshold warning for you, which helps make sure you don't miss anything. So I'm going to add these to my cart because I want some more milk. And I might go through and say, you know what, I'm going to also add some baking powder. And they both happen to be from the retail supply store. So when I go and have a look in my cart, you'll see that both of those items are there ready for my purchase order. I can also decide to add some other items. But you know what, while I'm making the order for this stuff, I'll also add some butter. Why not? All right, so here's what I've queued up, ready to order. I'm going to hit create order. It's going to give me a little summary. And if I hit that button, it's going to send a nicely formatted email directly to my supplier. and then I'm basically done. Here's what that order looks like. You can see the items there, and all they have to do is either reply or hit the confirm button. Either will let you know that the order has been received. Now, here's part of the magic of LineNow. If that person replies with, "Great, this is confirmed. However, let's say baking powder is now, let's say 510," and hit send. Our system is going to read that information, update the price for you in the order, and warn you to let you know that it's changed. You can see when you click purchase orders as well, you get a summary of all your purchase order activity for this business unit from all your suppliers. So we made that order with Retail Supply Store. So we can just click on Retail Supply Store and see all the orders that we've made with that supplier. There's the most recent one. And you can see a couple things have happened. So it has been updated from pending to confirmed just from that email that they sent or that I sent. And you can also see that the price of baking powder has been updated. You can see at the top of the timeline that we added these products, and then you can see further down that the price was changed. So you get a whole history of what happened here as well. You can of course make manual changes to this order if you need to. You can push this to QuickBooks from here, and if you hit send a note, it'll take you directly into the thread for this order. So the email thread, both what you've sent and what's been coming back from the supplier. So it's an easy way to get right into the communication as well. So I like to go in the purchase order tab and just make sure I don't have too many pending orders out there, and check up to see what's going on to make sure that all my order activity is going well. All that's left to do is every time that you make a count, make sure that you're updating your current values in here if something happens to slip or there's breakage or whatever else, and then all your inventory will be up to date. You'll be able to gain quick insight into what you should be ordering. You can sort, you can filter, you can add carts, you can send that information. You can then communicate with your suppliers directly in the LineNow portal as well, which will ensure that everything keeps up to date. If you want to communicate with them through your email inbox, totally fine. Just make sure that you integrate your email in the home tab. We've also got awesome insights that will automatically populate in the portal based upon all of your activity on the platform. So if someone hasn't communicated to you, if a price is changed, if a margin is changed significantly, all of those things will get alerted for you. So it's a great place to just make sure that everything's going okay and get some extra peace of mind. So if you're a restaurant, or if you're a manufacturer, or if you're a drop shipper, will be more videos for those specific workflows. But as far as getting set up, the process is the same. You want to get connected, you want to get your suppliers in there, then you want to bring in your items, and then you start making order decisions. All right, if you have any questions about any of this, please reach out to us. The contact information is right here on the bottom of your portal, so it's always there. You just hit a button and we'll get back to you right away. All right, I look forward to talking with you more. Have a great experience using LineNow. Take care.